Alright, so it's day number, I don't know, 2 or 3 of prepping for Hurricane Dorian. And what's today's project, buddy? What do we got to get done?
We are boarding up because we don't want our windows to break down and be a piece of glass.
Yeah, we don't want them to break down into a piece of glass. So what do we got to do? We got to measure the windows.
Yeah, measure the windows.
And then we got to cut the boards.
We got to cut the boards.
And then we can put them in there and screw them in, right?
Then we can put them in there and screw them down in there.
That's right. So that's today's project.
Yeah,
and then we're going to pick up the yard and put things away so they don't blow away. And maybe Daddy will mow the lawn.
Maybe Dad will mow the lawn.
Alright, so let's get to it. Alright, so what I'm actually doing is, instead of mounting the boards on the outside of the window, I'm actually going to put them on the inside and then screw tapcons in sort of as anchors that'll stick out a little bit and hold the boards in there rather than surface mounting. With just me mounting them, it's just going to be easier that way.
Mom wants to put the chickens in the garage, but Daddy says no because chickens are smelly, and we don't want them in the garage because Daddy doesn't want them smelling up the garage.
So what am I going to do instead?
What are you going to do?
We're going to put some boards over the doors of their coop.
We're going to put some boards over the doors of the coop so
they can be protected.
So they can be protected and not fly away in the storm. So that's all I have for you.
Forgot that feeling.
That's how it'll go, and it gives it maybe a 2-inch gap between the board and the glass, so it won't shatter the glass if something hits it. There's definitely some benefit to having monkey arms when messing with these boards.
It's freeze time, gather around, watch the sun go down. Oh, in summertime, soaking up the sun, cruising around in this crazy town. Oh, just you and I.
Alright, so here's a little safety tip, and maybe overkill, but I do it every time. After each cut, if I walk away from the saw and there's a chance that there's going to be kids around, unplug it. Just unplug it. It's worth it. Takes you, an extra 5 seconds each time. You got to plug it back in, but what if it keeps a kid from cutting a finger off or killing themselves? So worth it. Alright, so this is what I'm using to attach this. These are tapcons. I think these are 3/8 tapcons. I'd have to look. Biggest thing is you're gonna have to have a hammer drill if you're gonna be drilling into concrete at all. You could maybe get away with it with just a masonry bit and a regular drill, but it's gonna take you so long, it's not even worth it. So I'm gonna use hammer drill and an impact driver to drive them in.
Oh, just you and I, just you and I.
Alright, so that's how I'm doing all of those windows, so I'm not going to bore you with showing you how I'm going to do every one of those. This is going to be the more challenging part, and I'll tell you how I did it the last time. So these doors are 8 foot tall, plywood is 8 foot tall, so I can't really span it. So what I will probably do is tuck the plywood up underneath this lip here, and then do basically the same thing I did. Drive a couple screws into the sides. Problem is with it flexing in and out, so I might go ahead and tap on one piece of plywood here that I can screw into. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it yet. And then this one over here, what I did the last time is these are again 8 foot tall and obviously 8 foot wide this way. Is I'm probably going to put a 2x6 and span a couple 2x6s and tapcon it into that bottom threshold down there, and then just drill the plywood, attach it to those pieces. I put some pieces of 2x4 here, screwed that plywood to it. It sort of sticks up underneath the lip here. I got a piece of wood here just for support. Tapcons down at the bottom to hold the bottom from coming out. Same idea here. This window is bigger than a piece of plywood, so I ended up putting up a 2x4 right down the middle against that maul. And then over here I tapconed some 2x4s on either side so that I could screw those pieces to it. And then you can see here I'm going to do this. I'm going to wait till tomorrow just because it's a lot easier to let the dog out the back. Today is Sunday, so I'll probably do this Monday afternoon sometime. But here I tapconned a piece of 2x6 at the top and screwed it to that board, and again tapconned it down low, and then same thing over here. I put a piece of 2x4 along the edge so I can screw this board to it, and I tapcon those 2x4s to the wall, so it's sturdy. It's definitely not coming out, and hopefully we won't need it. Alright, and then out here, this window obviously is covered with vinyl siding all the way around, so I can't really attach to anything. So what I'm thinking in my head, and whether this will work or not, I'm not sure, is it's actually 9 foot wide by 4 foot tall. So I'm going to put a piece of 3/4 inch plywood in there, drill some 2x4s onto it, and then basically try to lean some boards from the window out down to the ground and drive some stakes that sort of just hold it up in there. Whether that works or not, I'm not sure, but we're going to try. Alright fixers, I think I figured out how I'm going to board up this window right here. And this is essentially what I've done. It's a little bit bigger than a full sheet of plywood. So a full sheet of plywood is right here all the way over. So I tagged on another little piece, and this is basically what I'm going to do. Each one of these, not this one, this one joins those two together, but this board, this one, and this one all fall right where those middle maul bars are in the window. So alright, so this is the inside of this protection board, I guess we'll call it, hurricane shutter, and basically this will fit into that inside cavity because I can't really drill around it because the windows are vinyl and it's vinyl siding, so if I drill through any of that, it's just going to end up causing a leak later on. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive some stakes into the ground, and then I'm basically going to put some angled boards against those stakes and attach them, and then they'll basically hold that board in there, keep it from coming off, and if the wind pushes in on it, well, it should push against those bars and not against the glass, and it should be okay. But that's the best I could come up with as far as getting this thing to basically be protected. So we'll see how it goes. It may fail miserably, it might be too heavy. I just don't know until I try to put it up there. Alright fellow fixers, I think I figured out how to do it, and it came out pretty good. So here's how I boarded up this window here. Basically, I built a frame, 2x4s all the way around. I drove in these 2x6s down into the ground with a sledgehammer so that they basically can't push back that way very easily. And then obviously those are supporting that board and putting it, holding it against the window. And this is basically just to support the weight of the bottom of it so that it's not all sitting on that vinyl siding lip. And there's a stake in the ground there. Same idea of that one, and this one. And I gotta say, surprisingly, it's very sturdy. It would be very hard for that thing to come off, so I think that's gonna do it. That's gonna hold it. And that's gonna be it for this video. If you're in the path of the storm, definitely seek shelter. Get your house prepped and boarded up. It looks like we may have been lucky and blessed by the storm sort of going more out to sea, and so we're thankful of that. But again, I want to get ready just in case. I was here during Hurricane Charlie, whenever it basically the last 30 minutes it made a beeline and came straight in through the center of the state. So I don't want something like that to happen again. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you haven't seen the first prep video, you can go watch that over here. I'll see you over there. And as always, get out there and fix something. I'll see you on the next one.